because some tasks are coming together and we have to complete all together.
Ma'am, actually, in the academic session and my personal, like personal work means like other task, my
Yeah.
future task. So
Yeah.
that is combined.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
so that is the pen.
No, no problem, no problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, so everyone, can we start now? I don't think they will join. Why they are not joining? They are in a resting position. Actually, I think in this lab there are so many students, no? Just a minute, everyone. I am actually logging into the Cisco Packet Tracer so that I can show you that tool. Okay, so let me share a screen so all of you can see what actually we are going to do today. Okay, so latecomers, good afternoon, everyone. As I told you in the last lab that we are going to perform the last experiment in today's lab, that is introduction to Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, so let me show you the PPT first, in which we will get a brief introduction quickly about the Cisco Packet Tracer, and then we are going to directly implement topologies into the Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, so comprehensive networking technology, teaching and learning software developed by Cisco Networking Academy. One netacade.com website is there. You have to log in into that website, right? You have to sign up if you are not account into that, then only you can use this tool. Okay, so One Networking Academy has introduced this tool, right, for the teaching and learning purpose only, right? So you can, whenever you are studying a networking theories, sometimes it is very difficult to imagine that what actually is happening, right? So if I am saying that this is a star topology or this is a mesh topology, so how computer will communicate in this type of topology or this type of network, right? So that can be learned by using this type of tools. Offers a unique combination of realistic simulation and visualization experiences, complex assessment, and activity on networks. So yes, they are saying that this is a tool which will give you the good simulation that in how much time your packet or your data will be transferred from one place to or one station to another station, and you can visualize actually that how it is happening, right? You can visualize the path it is following, right? So we are going to see that also. Now, as I think already I have introduced this in the term work part also, that how to install the Cisco Packet Tracer tool. So first of all, you can download it from this Softonic website. Easily it will be downloaded, but downloading and installing is not the enough part. After downloading and installing, it does not mean that you can use that tool. You cannot use it. Okay, until and unless you can do the registration on the Cisco website. Just a minute. Sorry. Okay, so you have to do this, you do your registration onto this website given. This website is given into that term work with PPT also, right? You can directly go to this website and you can register yourself for sign up for your account. After signing up, whenever you will open that tool, whatever you have installed into your laptop or computer, uh, whenever you will open it, they will ask you that do this NetAcad login. So you have to type your user ID and password, whatever you have used here, so you can use that tool now. Packet Tracer simulation based learning. So, what is the meaning of simulation? Simulation means time by time how the process is done. You can actually visualize it, right? In a real network, if you are forming this type of network, then how it will work? That will be in the virtual mode, you can see. Okay, so that is a simulation. So Packet Tracer allows you to do the simulation of the network, whatever you are forming. So innovative features help the students and teachers collaborate, solve the problems, and learn the concepts in an engaging and dynamic social environment. So whenever you are using this Packet Tracer tool, it will be useful for you as a learning point of view and for us to teaching point of view, right? That we cannot teach you the practically that how network will be formed, how network will be used to transfer a data. But if we are using this type of tool, then it will be easy for us also to actually tell you that this way the network is working. It supports the lectures, group and individual labs, homework, exams, games, collaborations, and competition. So by using this tool, yes, you can conduct a lecture as well as labs. You can give some tasks to do in this tool, right? You can conduct the exam also by giving a task, right? As we are doing in the term work, right? You can play a game by simply giving, by creating a competition like environment, right? To simulate some of the project, right? So everything is possible. Allows instructors to easily teach and demonstrate complex technical concepts and the networking system design. So whenever a complex network design, if I will show you directly theoretically, and I will explain that, okay, theoretically, this data, or let's say this station, this device wants to communicate with the device B. So it will send a request, then the device will send the acknowledgement, then it will send the data, then it will send the acknowledgement, and so on, right? So I will explain you theoretically, but it will be difficult to understand, right? But if I will show you this into the tool, I will show you in the simulation that see this way the data will be transferred, data transfer procedure will be done. Then it will be easy to understand for you also. Okay. Benefits of simulation based learning are, you all, I think I have covered all the topics, all the benefits of the simulation. Students who explore and experiment using the Packet Tracer develop intellectual curiosity and critical thinking skills, comprehension of the complex technology concepts, problem solving skills, innovation and creativity skills, confidence in their decision making skills and ability. Actually, these are the general skills they have mentioned. But why they have mentioned this type of skills? Because anything can be learned by doing the practical on it, right? So definitely we cannot form a network without spending money, right? Physically, if you want to form a network, you have to spend lots of money. But if you want to see that if I will make it physical connection, then how actually it will work. So virtually you can see in the simulation without spending much money, right? So you can develop all the skills without doing practical physically. Okay, you can do it by simulation and you can work it. So here in this tool, three things are very, very important. One is simulation, second is visualization, and third is collaboration. So what actually it is? Now let me tell you what is the simulation. So here two ways you can simulate into this tool, Cisco Packet Tracer. One is by making a design and simulate. And second is by writing the code, by writing the commands, right? So iOS commands are there, which are used for the networking, right? By using that iOS command also you can use the simulation, you can do the simulation, and you can see the visual, you can see the procedure what is being happened. And by using the net design also, For example, you have made a topology, mesh topology. So how mesh topology will be designed, that can be easily designed here in this tool. It's like a multisim. In a multisim, what you are taking? You're taking components and you are connecting those. Right? So here also we are going to do almost the same thing in design point of view. In the design also, we are going to take some components and we are going to connect it. But after connection, it will be different from multisim. In the multisim, we are looking it into the different instrument, that how the waveforms will come. Right? So here in Cisco packet tracer, how you can visualize that, okay, give the data to first computer and send it to the third computer. So how this data will come from first computer to third computer, that you can visualize into the simulation. Okay. And the third is collaboration. So collaboration means nothing but you can do the multi-user activity into it. Let's say one have designed one type of design, second user has designed a second type of design. Then if you will combine all of this, then you can compare that what different outputs you are getting. Network topologies, which is the part of this experiment. As I told you that in this experiment, the second part is introduction to Cisco packet tracer and the networking topology. So networking topology is very important part here, which we are going to design actually. So we have studied this network topology already into the theory portion in the first and second chapter, right? So network topologies are the one in which actually these are the structures in which the number of computers or number of devices are connected. So how the different type of networks can be formed so that different type of devices can communicate with each other. So we have studied different type of network topologies in the theory also. One is simple point-to-point communication. Actually, this is not a topology, but yes, you can consider it because here also the communication is being happened. Right? So point to point means only two computers are there. One is sending data to here, the second is sending the data to here. Right? So they are communicating with each other. So this is known as point to point network topology. Second is bus topology. So there is one bus, and with this bus, with a single link, all the devices are connected. So whenever this device wants to send the data to this will use this bus to, or this link to send the data. So this link will be shared by all the devices. So this is also known as shared link. Okay. So shared link between the multiple devices. Ring topology. So ring topology is the one in which the devices are connected in a ring format. So what will happen, that if this device wants to send the data to this device, it has to pass to the other devices and then it will reach to here. Right? Because the wire or bus or link is connected between the devices in this way, ring format. Okay, simply you cannot send the data to this. You have to pass it to the other device and then it will reach to here. Next is star topology. So in a star topology, all the devices are connected separately, but those all devices are controlled by a central controller, which is also known as a hub or switch or router. It can be anything. I will tell you the difference. A very small difference between there is there between the hub and switch and everything. Okay, so this can be, generally we are using it as a hub. Okay, so hub is a central control which will control all the data coming from the different devices. Okay, fifth is tree topology. So in a tree topology, multiple hubs are connected with a bus link and the stations are connected with that hub. So what will happen if this station wants to communicate with this station? First of all, this station will send the data to this hub. Hub will send the data to other hub via bus, and then this hub will send the data to the station. Okay, so this is a tree topology. Mesh topology. In the mesh topology, every device is connected with each other. First device is connected with the second also, third also, fourth also, fifth also. Right? So every device has a dedicated link with the different, all the devices in the network. So communication can be easily possible, but for this, so many links are required to connect all the devices together. So it will be really a mesh, right? It will really be a mesh. So it will be again difficult. Next, last is hybrid topology. So hybrid topology is nothing but combination of multiple topologies together. Now it is not defined, predefined that hybrid means a combination of star and ring only. It can be a combination of star and bus only. It can be combination of all these three together, right? So hybrid is nothing but the word itself says that it's a combination of different topologies together. Like you can see here, right? This is a star topology, this is a ring topology, and all these are connected with a bus. So bus topology is also there, right? So three topologies are combined together to form a hybrid topology. Okay, so this way the different network topologies we have actually seen in the theory also, but now we are going to implement these topologies into the tool Cisco Packet Tracer. We will connect multiple stations with a bus and then see that how the communication will be done. Okay, so now let me tell you that to study all the topologies as well as the difference between hub and switch, you can see videos also, right? I have put it one YouTube link. This in this videos very easily they have explained that how you can connect different topologies into the Cisco Packet Tracer and how the communications can be different. Okay, so different topologies, and some videos are almost given here, so you can see one by one if you want. Okay, so now we are going to make these topologies because these are the tasks for this exam number 10. So let me show you which are the tasks you have to do. After I will show you one or two topologies into the Cisco Packet Tracer, then you have to do the remaining one. So let me show you the task. Total 6 tasks are given. After studying the topology and some fundamentals of Cisco Packet Tracer, you would complete 6 tasks. Okay, so task 1 is draw the different type of topology that you have studied. So you have to draw all the topologies into the Cisco Packet Tracer tool. And if you are not, actually, if you don't want to go into detail into Cisco Packet Tracer, you don't want to install it, right? Then don't worry, you can draw it into a book also, no problem. Second is differentiate switch, hub, and router with the proper figures. Also write about the functionality and the operation difference among them in the Cisco Packet Tracer software. So you can go to the video as well as you can see the another videos also to differentiate this two. And I will tell you actually, I will tell you in the Cisco Packet Tracer also that how the switch and hub will do the different process. Identify the type of switches and router available into. So whenever I will open the Cisco Packet Tracer, I will tell you that this different type of switches are there, different type of routers are available. It's like in a multi-sim, how I can say that the resistor, different type of resistors are available, different type of capacitors are available that you can take. Same way here, different type of switches and routers and everything are available. Next is what are the steps involved in configuration of the router. So this to do this task, you have to simply see the video and you have to write the steps. In the task 4, after looking at the video, you have to write the steps that how to configure router. Task number 5, you have to differentiate IPv4 and IPv6 scheme. I hope you all are already aware about this, but if you are not, then go to the Google, you can search it the difference between IPv4 and IPv6 because all are using this IP addresses in their laptop and computer. So you must be aware about this too. Task number 6 is last one, how to configure DHCP server. So again, it's same like task 4, but here you have to write the steps about configuration of the router. Here you have to write the step for configuration of DHCP server. So that also one YouTube link is given. See, whenever I'm giving you these links, why I'm giving you this link? Because I can explain it, but I have a limited time. There are so many things to understand into the Cisco Packet, so many tasks to do actually into the Cisco Packet Tracer. But all the tasks can be done. Whenever you will see these videos, all the tasks are actually explained into the tool only. So, however, I will explain you today same way they have explained. Okay, so let us start with the tool. So let me show you. Whenever you will open the tool, it will look like this. This is a logical area. This is known as a logical area where you can design a network, logical network. Okay. Here, some devices are mentioned. For example, if you will click on the first, that is known as network devices. So click on network devices. Whenever you will click on network devices, below that, different type of network devices are given, like routers, switches, hubs, wireless devices, and so on, security, WAN. So whenever you will click on a particular network device, let's say switches. So different type of switches are given, at which switch you want to use. Now, as a new user, obviously we all are not aware about this different type of switches, that where the this type of switch can be used, where this type of switch can be used. So no problem. Right now we are going to use switch as a simple central controller, so we can use any of the switch. But yes, you have to understand, you if you want to study the Cisco packet tracer in detail to do the more tasks, you can study this. Otherwise it is not required. You can go to the help and you can get the information about all the components available. Same way, if you will click on hub, you will get the different type of hub, routers, and so on. Second is end devices. End devices means what you can connect as a station: computer, mobile, printer, server, right? Phone, IP phone, VoIP phone, TV. So any end devices can be connected in a network. So all the end devices are mentioned over here. So simple end devices to form a networks are PC, laptop, server, printer, and so on. If you want to use a network devices for home, then at home, at anyone's home, which different type of devices can be there, right? So number of devices are mentioned, like AC, fan, speaker, battery, so many things are given. This can be used as a end devices. Third is smart city. So if you want to develop a smart city, then what features the smart city should have? So you, someone will say that Wi-Fi should be there in the whole area, right? Bluetooth should be there. So whenever you are imagine a smart city, whatever devices comes to your mind, those are the end devices for smart city. Same way, next is industrial. So in the industrial, which type of devices can be used to form a network? And last is power grid, right? So in a power grid, which type of devices are there? So different type of end devices are there. It depends upon the application you want to use them. Okay. Third is components. So components are actually, generally they are giving only different type of very small number of components over here. First is boards. So which board? For example, let me tell you, every time it is not required that you want to communicate with one computer to another computer only. Let's say you want to communicate from one computer, because computer is not communicating. Inside the computer, processor is there that is communicating, right? So if you are communicating from one computer with the other processor or controller, then you can use a different board. Like this is microcontroller unit board, MCU board, right? Then SBC board, right? So many things are there into the different type of boards, actuators and sensors. So definitely, whenever you are forming a network, in the network there can be different sensors also, right? Infrared sensor, right? Temperature sensor, humidity sensor. So different type of sensors are given which you can use to form a network. Next is connectors. So if you want to do connection between the number of end devices, then how the different type of connections are required? For example, some will use the bus, right? Some will use the different link, a single wire connection, parallel wire connection, right? So different type of connections can be there in between the different devices, because all the devices are not working in a serial communication or a parallel communication. All are working in a different type of connection. The different connections are given here. But as a user, if you are forming any network, let's say you are not sure, right, which type of connection actually is being happened, right, in the physical world, right? So in the physical world, if you are not aware about the connection, then one connection is given that is known as automatically choose the connection type. So if you will click on this, And if you will if you will connect the two devices, whatever appropriate connection is required between those two devices, that will be done. So this is automatically choose the connection. Okay, so generally most of the time we are going to use this one so that it can be easy for us. Some miscellaneous components are given, right, and multi-user connections is given. So this many components are present into the Cisco Packet Tracer tool. So in a multi-sim, as we know, different type of devices or components were there. Same way here also, different type of components are present. In the above, the general options are there, right? Zooming option and saving option, open, print, and everything. Here, if you want to select a particular part of the design you have done over here, then you can select that part, you can zoom it, right? You can inspect that what it is. Then the same way, if you want to delete some of the things, then whenever you will select some part and if you will click on delete, that part will be deleted, right? These are the packets or data what you want to transfer. So for example, we are making a virtual connection and we want to transfer the data from one place to another place. So from where the data will come, so these are the data you can use. Okay, so let us start with the first thing. Everyone is having any doubt till now? Tree is combine of star and bus. Actually, you cannot say exactly it like this, because in a tree, whenever tree topology, let me show you so that you can understand more properly. Yeah, in a tree topology, devices are end devices are not connected with a bus. Hubs are connected with a bus, right? So that's why I cannot say that it's a bus connection where the devices are connected with. Devices are not connected with a bus, right? Only the controllers, central controllers are connected with a bus. Okay, so it cannot be a hybrid topology, but yes, it is a separate topology which is using a bus for connecting different hubs. IoT, Arafat, what you are talking about? IoT means what? You were asking something or you were giving answer of something? Oh, smart city. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So let's start now making topology into the Cisco Packet Tracer. I think before starting the topology, let's take a 2-minute break. After 2-minute break, I will explain you the topology. Okay. So everyone, take a 2-minute break and then we will continue. Okay, so can we resume now? Okay, so let me show you again a Cisco packet tracer. Now, first of all, if I want to make any type of connection, I will require end devices, right? And as a end devices, you can take any device you want, PC, laptop, server, printer, everything, right? So let me take PC. So whenever you are taking PC, you just have to click here and then you have to click here. Okay. So again, take another PC. So every time you have to do it. Now, one more thing you can do it, that you can press shift and select this. So multiple time you can click on here, right? You can take multiple pieces together. So let's say I am taking 4 PCs and I want to connect this 4 PCs in a star topology. So whenever I want to connect it into a star topology, I will require a switch or hub, right, which can connect all those 4 PCs. So I will explain you by taking both of them. One is, let's say, switch. For example, first of all, we are taking any switch and I will connect this all the things with this switch, right? So you can take any of the switch you want here. 2960 switch is also there, PT switch is also there. And if you want to select any component, I told you that select this component and delete this component, that will be deleted like this. Okay, so whatever switch you want to take, you just take a switch, connect it here. And now I want to do a connection. So this switch is working as a central controller. I want to connect all the stations, all the PCs with this switch. Okay, so okay, I will show you the configuration later on. Now, how to do the connection? I told you that you can use the different type of connection if you know that how the 2 PCs or PC and switch can be connected. But if you don't know, take this automatically chosen connection. So what you have to do by taking this, you have to click on the PC and switch, and it will be connected. Right? Same way for other PCs. This PC and switch is also connected. This PC is also connected to this central controller, and this PC is also connected to here. Okay. So this way the connection can be done. Now let me show you the configuration of the switch. So if you will double click on it, it will show you the physical connection. So they are saying that 4 PCs can be connected with this switch. I repeat, 4 PCs can be connected with this switch. Now, what does it mean? That if you want to connect more PCs, more than 4 PCs, then it cannot be possible. So is it so? Let us see. So let me take one more end device and let me connect it with the switch. So see, they are giving a connection error. The cable cannot be connected to that port. Why it cannot be connected? Because in this port, the channels are limited. Only 4 things can be connected. So it doesn't mean that you cannot connect this device ever, right? So let me show you how to do it. Okay, so let's say if I want to connect 2 more PCs with this switch, then how to do it? So go to the switch again. Now, if you will see that switch is on, so make it off first by clicking on this. The that green button will be off. See, this is on, this is off. Okay, now switch is off. After switch off, making the switch off, you can add the more PCs to it. Right, so what you are doing is simply add the PC to another switch module. So how many different blank spaces are there? Total 4. So it means maximum 4 more PCs you can connect. After connecting 2 more PCs, make the switch on again. Okay, so this is a configuration part. You can configure this in this way. Now close this and now try to connect 2 more PCs what we have connected here. So now connect this PC5 to switch. Yeah, it is connected because now we have added 2 more PCs. So switch is having now 6 ports instead of 4. Okay, so total 6 PCs we have connected. Now, how different computers can communicate with each other? Different computers can communicate with each other with some addresses. For example, PC0 wants to send some data to PC2. Then PC0 is also having some address. PC2 is also having some address. So whenever PC0 is sending some data to the switch, this will mention that source address and the destination address. Then only it will reach to the appropriate destination. Everyone, are you getting it? All the PCs are having some logical address via which the PCs can communicate with each other. Okay, so it means we have to assign IP addresses to all the PCs. So how to assign the IP addresses? So simply double click on PC, go to the desktop, IP configuration. There are so many type of configuration you can do. Okay, but right now only one thing we require, that is IP configuration. So in that IP configuration, you have to assign some IP address to PC0. So you can assign any of the IP address. Huh? It is not required that it should be specific. Any IP address. Let's say I'm writing 192.168.1.1. Let's say any random IP I'm assigning. And don't change the subnet mask. By default, it is 255.255.255.0. Keep it as it is. Default gateway. Right now, it is not required, but let me assign the default gateway also. 192.168.2.1, let's say. Okay, so I'm assigning IP address plus default gateway. Okay, for IPv4 configuration. After assigning this IP address, close it. So now, if you will keep your cursor on the PC. They will say that IP address. They will say that IP address is not set. Right? Gateway is not set. So whenever you will click the IC, they will say that anything is not set yet. But if you will click cursor on now this PC0, so IP address is there, 192.168.1.1. Same way gateway is also there, 192.168.2.1. Right? So now we are able to see the address of this particular PC, port address, okay, logical address. So now assign the same way, assign the addresses to all the PC. Go to the desktop configuration, IP address. So in the IP address 192 again .168. Obviously, two PCs cannot have the same ID, right? So let's 1.2. Previously, I have kept it 1.1. Now it is, let's say, 1.2. Default gateway can be same. Okay, default gateway can be same, no problem. So 192.168.2.1. So default gateway I am keeping same for the PC1. Next is PC2. So same address but 1.3. Okay, let me copy it so that it can be easily assigned quickly. Last you have to change as 2.1. PC4. Oh, sorry, actually PC3. 1.4. 2.1. And wait for next PC. So assign all the station IP to all the stations, right? You are using all the end devices. It's 1.5 now. If you will use the same address what you have assigned, they will say that this address is already used in the network, so you cannot use it. Okay. The last PC 2.6. Okay, so I have assigned now IP addresses to every PC. So now what will happen that whenever this PC wants to send the data to PC5, the addresses will say that what will be the source from where the data is coming and where it should go, right? Because switch should know, right? Switch should know the addresses. Very much important, everyone. Then and then a particular path will be followed. So yes, if you understand, then you can see that switch is reading the addresses, reading the source and destination addresses, and in a particular destination only it will send the data. It's not like that it will send the data to all the devices. With the switch, whatever devices are connected, the data will not send to all the devices. Data will send to the specific destination only, because it will read the data. Okay, so now, okay, connection is done. Now I want to check that my packet, my data is going from one place to another place or not, right? So let's say for that, this is a simple PDU you can use, right? So use this PDU. Let's say PC0 wants to send the data to PC5, right? So if you want to see that it is happening or not, just a minute. Yeah. So see, PC0 to PC5 is successful. So yes, PC0 to PC5 data is being sent. Now I want to see that how it will being sent, right? So for the real time, it will show you that PC0 to PC5 data is successfully sent. Now we want to see the simulation, then click on the simulation and play the simulation. So whenever you will play the simulation, see, data is coming to the switch. Switch will send the data to PC5, second step. After receiving the data, PC5 will send the acknowledgement to the switch, and again switch will go give the acknowledgement to the PC0. Then your process will be completed, everyone. Are you getting what will happen? PC0 will send the data to switch. After reading the destination, it will be sent to the PC5, and then again after receiving the data at PC5, it will send the acknowledgement to the switch. Again switch will send that acknowledgement to the PC0. So now PC0 will come to know that, okay, data is being received successfully. Are you getting? So only one time this will happen, and it is not like that packet will be sent to all the devices. It's not like that. Fine. So that is the process will be done into the simulation. So you can reset the simulation and you can check it again, what is happening. Okay, so that's all happened into the star topology. Now you will be surprised that what is the difference between switch and hub.
Ma'am,
Very small difference. So let me
ma'am,
do it for you so that you can understand. Let's
ma'am,
say I want to click this switch,
ma'am,
and I want to connect hub now. So go to the network devices, select any hub you want, and now connect this hub with all the stations. Why I'm only deleting switch and hub, I'm not changing whole connection, because I have already assigned IP to the PCs. I don't want to assign it again and again and again. Okay, that's why. Okay, so now let us see what will happen if I am connecting hub instead of switch. Okay, so you will realize that what is the difference between switch and hub. So let me again take one packet. Let's say I want to send it from PC0 to PC2. So in a real time, it is successful, right? But if I want to see the simulation, then how it is happening, let's see. PC0 will send the packet to hub. Hub will send that packet to all the devices, but all the devices will reject the packet unless and until PC2 will receive. PC2 will accept it. Other devices will reject it. Why? Because PC2 knows that this is for me. So PC2 will send the acknowledgement. Again, acknowledgement will send to all the devices, but only PC0 will accept that acknowledgement. Other devices will reject it. Why it is happening? Because hub is not reading the destination address. Everyone, let me explain it again. Whenever PC0 sending packet to hub, hub is not reading the destination address. Without reading the destination address, it is simply passing it to all the connected devices. Now all the devices will receive that packet. They will see that this packet is not for me, right? I don't want to accept it. So all the devices will reject it. But PC2 knows that this is for me. So it will accept it and it will send the acknowledgement. Now again in a reverse way also same procedure will be done. Hub will send that acknowledgement to all the devices. But all the devices are actually aware that we have not sent any data, so how we can get the acknowledgement? So acknowledgement will be rejected. Only this will accept the acknowledgement. So see the procedure again. Data will come to here. It will go to all the packets, all the PCs. But only this will accept it. Others will reject it. After accepting, it will send the acknowledgement. Again, acknowledgement will be sent to all the devices, but only this device will accept it, right? Other will reject it. So this is the process will be done by the hub. So are you getting the difference between switch and hub? Very small difference. Okay, that switch will read the destination address and it will send it to the appropriate address only, but hub will not read anything and it will send it to all the devices. So some advantages are of switch also, some advantages are of hub also. Can you mention one of the advantage of hub and one of the advantage of switch? Everyone? Yeah, I will explain the address part again, Arafat, don't worry. Yes, anyone? Anyone can tell me what is the advantage of switch and what is the advantage of hub? When you should use switch or when you should use the hub? Yes, everyone? Hello, am I audible? Okay, Arafat is saying that encryption is there in switch while hub doesn't have. Yeah, correct. So security, right? Security is important. Security, you can get the security in the switch, but you cannot get the security in hub, because whenever you are transmitting any data, it is going towards all the devices. So maybe some devices are hackers. They can hack your data, right? So encryption, security is not there. Okay, that is the advantage of switch. What is the advantage of hub? Reduce work overload of individual computer. Again, it is the advantage of switch only, right? But let me tell you what will happen, that whenever you are transmitting the data from one place to another place, it will be read by destination address will be read by the switch. Then it will find out the destination address from the routing table and then it will go to the particular process. So it will require some time. Delay is there. That is the disadvantage of switch and advantage of hub. I repeat, the time delay. Okay, whenever switch is reading the destination address, it will find out that address and then it can send the data to that. Okay, so it will take some time. So that time delay is the disadvantage. Fine. So if your network is, let's say, secure, you know that in your network, a very small network is there where hacking possibilities are nil, then you can use a hub instead of switch, because the data communication will be faster. Okay, so both are having their own advantages and disadvantages. Don't worry about it, right? But yes, both are there, and I have told you the difference between those two. Right? You can see the video also. I have shown you or given you one link also for the video. Okay, so this is the way in which we can connect this. Now, Arafat is asking that addressing part. So now let me tell you that, as you know, that in this communication, address is very much required, right? So whenever you want to say that I want to transmit a data through the network, so network is using a logical address. Logical means IP address, right? So all the devices must have the IP addresses, so that switch will come to know that from where the data is coming and where the data should be transmitted. Okay, so that is very much important. So that's why we are assigning IP addresses. We are assigning IP addresses to every devices we are connecting. And how to assign the IP address? Simply double click on it and configure the device. For IP configuration, type the IP address. Only IP address is required. Gateway is not required. If you will not type gateway, it will work. No problem. Okay, here it will work. So this way you can assign the IP addresses to all. Any IP address you want, you can assign. Right? It's not any limitation for that. So any doubt into the star topology to anyone? Then we will move forward towards the next topology. So I will explain you one more, and then you can do it by yourself. Okay. So any doubt to anyone? Okay, no doubts. Great. Ma'am, what is acknowledgement? Is it the response, like the response message is sent? It is the response like I have received the data. For example, you have sent a message into the WhatsApp, then someone is reading the message. It means that person has received your data. So they will give you the reply soon, right? So by acknowledgement, it will come to know that I need not to send my message again. See, sometimes acknowledgement is not coming, are having so many meanings. One is, let's say network is damaged. Second is the device is not connected, right? So if your data, when whatever you message you are sending to another person, right, you are expecting a reply or not expecting a reply, it doesn't matter, but your data is received to the appropriate destination or not, that is very much required, right? So that you can come to know that, do I need to send my data again? So if your data is not acknowledged, it means you have to send your data again to that destination. And if this will happen 2 to 3 times, it means there is some problem in the connection, right? So then only the network connection will be checked by the person, that okay, network is having some problems, I have to check it. The maintenance part is required. Okay. But some people doesn't give reply at all. Yeah, Arafat, I'm giving you the example of WhatsApp. Okay, so that see, because you people, your generation people can understand by this type of example easily. Okay, anyway, so next is I'm going to explain is any topology you want. Let's say bus topology. So in the bus topology, I just want to show you that how the different devices are connected through a single link, and the data should be passed through the different stations. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, so you can take a new file. I don't want to save. So take some devices and let's say I'm connecting some devices. PC, laptop, printer, IP phone, TV, etc. Okay. Now I want to connect these all devices by using a bus connection. Can anyone tell me how the bus connection is possible? Simply a wire is required. A wire can connect all the devices together. Everyone, a wire can connect all the devices together. Can anyone tell me how this all the devices will be connected in a bus form? Only a wire is required. Yeah, by line. Yeah, I mean the same. So let me do it if you are saying this thing. no available ports. Wire is not enough. So what you can do? You will require that many switches, what many devices you have taken. So first of all, let me tell you, in a network, switch is very important. See, if you have, let me show you the PPT so that you can understand it in a better way. Yeah. For example, this is a bus connection. So whenever this device is connected to this wire, then this device cannot connect to the wire directly without a switch. So you have to connect switches for all the devices. So let me show you how it is possible. So let me connect the different switches. Now let me do the connection first with this printer and switch. Cable cannot be connected to that port. Oh, even automatic connection cannot connect TV with that. Just a minute, huh? So let me take another end device. Now, any end device and switch are connected with one type of link. And do you think that switch to switch connection will be of same link? It will be different, right? So which type of link is required to connect one switch to another switch, that we don't know, right? That's why this automatically chosen connection will be used. Okay. So this all the switches are connected in a one link. You can connect it with the switch also, but let me do it in another way. So all the switches are connected with one type of wire, and with all the switches. So see, what are the switches? The switches are a tap. Do you remember the tap? I told you whenever I have explained the theory that tap is important. I think it was in a second chapter only. Yeah. See here. What is happening? That stations are connected with a cable via tap. So this tap is nothing but a switch. This switch will allow the station to send the data to this line. Okay, so that's why I have connected switches with all the stations. So tap is very much important. Tap is a type of connector, right, that will connect the main cable with the station. Now, if you want to send the data, so if you will see IP phone is connected with a different configuration, laptop and PCs and all these things are connected with a different connection. So different connections may be required to connect the switches. Now, how this bus is working, that we will see. Okay, that how the packet can be transmitted from one station to another station via this bus connection. But before that, we have to assign the IP addresses to each devices. IP addresses to each devices we have to assign. Okay, so I will assign the IP address, and meanwhile you can take a 2 minute break, and then we will continue with that. Okay, take a 2 minute break, everyone. Okay, so can we resume now, everyone? So see, I have just put it a switch in a such a way so that you can see that you can realize that it is a bus, right? So this is a bus in which all the switches are tapped, and all these 5 different devices I have connected. So I have to assign IP addresses for all this. right? So you can assign the IP addresses for all the devices you want. Okay, so that is the first task you have to do. So let me assign the IP addresses quickly. You can see, you can assign the same default gateway, or if you will not assign, then also it will work. For example, I'm assigning only IP addresses because it will be done quickly in that case. 192.168.1.2. Device must be power on. Okay, here IP address assignment is not given, I guess. Okay, let's see without it is working or what. Only gateway DNS IPv4. It should be used. Actually, here in the IP phone, they are not giving any option for the IP assignment, right? So without IP address, it is not working. So let me do one thing. So let me connect only PC and laptop, so it will be easy to explain you, because maybe there are some another configuration required for this, right? And I have used only PC and laptop to connect this. So I'm not going deep into the Cisco packet tracer anytime. So and you are also not need to go to deep into this, that how TV will be connected and how iPhone will be connected and everything. So let me assign now the addresses to this one. Mhm. Now every time this will be copied. Okay. So now see what is happening. If you want to send the data from one PC to another PC or another end device, then it will be done in a real time, right? It is showing that it is successful. But how it is actually being happened via switch, one switch to another switch, second switch to third switch, and so on. So go to the simulation, play. So okay, first of all, PC0 will send the data to this switch. Now switch is able to identify right address. So it will send to the another switch. Again, the data will be sent to the third switch. Want to send it to PC1. So until the PC1 will get the packet, you will not get the acknowledgement. It will not be received by anyone. So everyone will reject. So now PC1 will send the acknowledgement and it will be received by it. So let me show you again. Just a minute. Huh? Let me do it from the first, because so many simulation I have done at a time. So let's say I want to send the data from PC0 to PC1. Okay, let's see the simulation. Only this one we will see. The previous was already running. PC1 will receive the data. Now it will give the acknowledgement. The acknowledgement will go into the same path. Switch 5, and switch 5 will go give it to the switch 1. It will not give to the another stations, okay? Switch 1, because it knows the address, destination and source addresses. Again give switch 0, and switch 0 will give to PC0. And then the task will be completed. Okay, so see what will happen. Let me tell you actually why the problem will occur sometimes, because see, one time what you have done, you have taken the data, let's say, from PC0 to this laptop, right? Then you have taken the data from, let's say, PC2 to PC, right? So you have done, if you have done multiple processes together at a time, right, then if you will go to the simulation is having both the process to do. So whenever you will see the simulation, both the process will done at a time, and you will not recognize that what actually is happening, right? So what you have to do is you have to delete all the things you have done previously, and now if you want to see the simulation only for PC0 and let's say PC2, then connect that PC0 and PC2 only. Okay, and now let's, in a real time it is successful, but in a simulation I want to see that what is happening, right? So in a simulation, packet will go to switch is knowing the destination. The switch will send directly to this switch 1. Now switch 1 will not send it to laptop, it will again directly go to the switch 5, but it will take some time, see, to identify the address. Then it will give to the PC2. PC2 will give the acknowledgement again in the reverse way, but destination address is known, so it will easily reach to the appropriate destination. And how much time will be taken, that is also mentioned here. See, you can see everything. First step in this much time, this will be happen, second time, third time, fourth time, and so on. After this is completing, you can reset the simulation. Okay, it will show you that how much total time is required. That also it will be mentioned. So this way bus topology is working. In a bus topology, very important part is you cannot connect all the devices with a simple connection. You have to put a tap. Tap is nothing but it can be used as a hub. Also, it can be switch. A switch can also be used. But if you will use hub instead of switch, what will happen? That whenever this data wants to send, this PC wants to send the data to PC2, this PC0 will send the data to switch, switch will send the data to switch 1, switch 1 will send the, hub will send the data to laptop 0 also, to here also. Again, this switch will send to PC2 also, to this switch also. This hub will send the PC1 also to this hub also. Again, hub will send to this also. It means ultimately all the devices will receive that packet. But only this PC2 will accept it, other will reject it. Right? So whoever will accept, that will send the acknowledgement. Again, acknowledgement will go to all the devices, but only PC0 will acknowledge it. Right? Other devices will reject it. So this way, this bus topology can work into this. Now, let me tell you that there are so many end devices mentioned over here, but maybe all the devices are having a different configuration. I haven't used any of these devices for the network, right? So definitely you have to learn the configuration into the help before using it. If you are going to use the server or printer or IP phone, kindly see the configuration into the help command and then you can use it. Otherwise, it will not be appropriately connected, like whatever we have done right now. Okay, so it is possible. I'm not going deep into it because I'm not going to do the more simulation into Cisco packet tracer anymore. Right, I'm not in this field actually. It's switch or hub we have to use. In bus, when one device sends a message to another device, the message goes to every device, but it will be rejected by others and received only by the device with the same MAC address, right? Yes, yes. Whenever same address with destination address will be find out, then only that device will only give the acknowledgement. That device will only accept that. Other devices will reject it. But hub is not that much intelligent that it will read the proper address and it will send to the that device only. And that is some advantage also. Right? Advantage is it will take less time. If it is not reading the address, it is directly passing the data. Right? Only to pass the data it will require less time. Fine. So any doubt into this burst topic or any doubt into the Cisco packet tracer, how the devices can be connected and how you can see that how the data is transferring. Any doubts to anyone? Why only 13 to 14 students have joined? Yeah, but if we use switch, we can send up a message to the appropriate destination only. It will not be sent to the everyone. So yeah, there is some advantages and disadvantages of both. I mentioned it earlier, no? Okay, so now after doing this much task into the Cisco packet tracer, now you by your own can form a different topologies, right? So how to form a different topologies, that different links are already given into the PPT. You can refer those links to topology. And to make a topology into the Cisco packet tracer, you have to download it, you have to install it, and you have to register yourself into netacade.com. Okay, then only you can use this tool. But if you're not going to use that tool, right, kindly draw the topologies into pen and paper. That will also okay for this exercise. But I suggest everyone that use at least this Cisco packet tracer tool once, because in the next semester also one ACN subject will be there. In that subject maybe you are going to use this tool. So if you are aware about this tool in this subject only, then it will be helpful in that subject in the next semester. Okay, so everyone kindly download and install this software and you can use it. So I think that's it for the last experiment. You have to do all the tasks what I have given in the last slide. The 6 tasks you have to complete for this experiment, and then your experiment will be completed. So if anyone is having any doubt, they can ask. Otherwise, write your enrollment number into the chat box. Rafat has kept his enrollment number ready. And whenever ma'am will say, I will simply put a enter. Everyone, write your enrollment number.